Assalamu alaikum, Tatheer.
Walaikum assalam, Sama. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. So I'm really excited about the session today. I've watched some of your sessions before as well. I'm not sure, but I think the last one was with Ecomsi. I forgot his name. Is that right?
Yep, with Vincenzo.
Okay, so welcome to Ecomist PPC week, and it's day five. And tonight we really want to know about you from brand building and its importance. So please go ahead.
Sure. Thank you so much. Everyone, Assalamu alaikum, first of all. And it's a pleasure being on this platform. I know there are so many people who are trying so hard, and I really want to help you guys in achieving your goals. And just a basic introduction about me. My name is Tatheer Fatima, and I've been working with Amazon sellers, helping their brands grow for the past 4 to 5 years now. And it has been an excellent journey. I basically started with copywriting. Um, I have my bachelor's in English language, which was kind of a starting for me to work with um, writing tasks. I in the start I started with working with some authors. I am also a professional book editor. I have some books where I have uh, been a co-author and a co-editor with some US based clients. But then after a few years, I wanted a break. I wanted to do something fresh, something new. So I started with Amazon. So with this good writing background, I definitely knew what was in and how to make the buyers stay on the listings using my words. So that was the start of my Amazon journey. And since then, I've been progressing and I've been testing what works best for me. And Alhamdulillah, now I know that PPC and brand building is something that is really my niche.
I know it's a bit off topic, but you mentioned that you did your bachelor's in English language. That's really interesting because I know a very few people have done that. So how was that experience? And are you from Islamabad? Am I right?
Yep, I've been living in Islamabad for most of my life. I'm not currently there, but I did my degree from Islamabad, from Namal. Maybe there are people in
Okay.
your group who are from Namal. So I completed my bachelor's in 2020, and it has been an excellent experience because it has helped me with my communications, with writing, and in general. Yeah.
So you always wanted to do that bachelor's?
No, it's a funny story. I was good with language, but I never depended on it because, as you know, in Pakistan, it's a trend to be a doctor and engineer. An engineer. I basically wanted to be an aerospace engineer, and I even got admitted in IST, but it was as an electrical engineer. But I was going to shift. Anyways, it didn't suit me. I was getting good grades, everything was fine, but something didn't feel right. So I thought I should take a break. So I was home for a whole year just doing freelancing and enjoying. But then I had to do something. So my family pushed me to do this, but eventually it was for good.
Awesome. So, Tatheer, I have to ask you that. I usually ask this from people who are working with brands that, okay, you're working with brands, and so have I been. What I want to ask you is that what specific niche usually do you usually see brands working on? Like, what I see a lot of people selling in the home and kitchen niche, maybe in the pets category, but what is, मतलब आप इस पे क्या मुझे बता सकते हैं?
Okay. I would suggest and my personal experience वो ये है कि normally it's not about a niche, it's about brand identity. I mean, आप किसी भी प्रोडक्ट को, किसी भी ब्रांड को आप एक बहुत अच्छी जगह पे पहुंचा सकते हैं if you work on the branding right. Because on Amazon, if you see nowadays, it's all about branding, and Amazon is um themselves, they are just promoting brands now. It's not just a game of products nowadays, it's about brand. So if I talk about brand identity, um, it's it's basically जैसे कि हम समझते हैं किसी की आइडेंटिटी पूछनी हो तो it's just like
Yeah.
उनकी personality कैसी है. So
Yeah.
identity is all about the visuals and okay, what's your logo like? What are the colors that you're using? What's the font like? Or all the visual aspects. What are the colors of your product? And things like that. So this is the identity. This is what is basically the schema behind things. So
Yeah.
nowadays, if you I've worked with some heat map kind of extensions. Heat map is basically it shows जो buyer का data होता है सारा कि बायर जब लैंड किया आपके अमेजोन लिस्टिंग पे तो वो उसकी जर्नी क्या थी, फर्स्ट उसने कहाँ पे अपना कर्सर दिया या कहाँ पे उसने अपना स्क्रॉल कहाँ पे कर रहा था वो. तो
Yeah.
मोस्ट ऑफ देम दे टर्न्ड आउट के लोग पहले टाइटल पढ़ते हैं, उसके बाद दे गो टू द इमेजेस एंड देन दे सी द ऑफर. सो दीज आर द थिंग्स, especially the title and your visuals, your images. That is something that people nowadays they focus on. So if you want your product to excel, you should really work on your brand identity and brand positioning.
Okay, so when we talk about brand identity, do you believe that the brand name is very important here? Because what I see, there are a lot of Chinese sellers on Amazon, and they don't have a brand name that suits the specific marketplace. For example, my name is Usama. If I call myself Joseph, no, the people won't connect with me because they won't see me as a Pakistani anymore. So it's very important, I think. But what do you think that for each marketplace we should have a specific brand name and we should do some research before selecting one?
True. This is something that is a concern, but my suggestion in this would be that आपने जिस platform पे launch करना है, it can be Shopify, it can be Amazon, it can be any place, right? But if we have Amazon in view, you should really know what are the specifics of that platform. This is something that I was going to discuss. That it's great that you brought it up. This is something that is in this category of brand positioning. Now, because we know on Amazon that Chinese sellers they are not very positively popular.
Yeah.
People don't want to buy Chinese products, and after Corona, it's such a bash. So it would be great if you and इसके opposite में अगर आप देखें तो US में बने products और US से associated चीज़ें they are selling better. So it's better to keep your name something related to US or something that is easily recognized as being a United States product. Maybe you can go with a brand name that is more that makes more sense for the people of United States. So yeah.
Okay, so apart from the brand name, do you agree with me that the theme that we follow in our images, in our creatives, the color theme is equally important? Because I've heard some copywriters emphasize on this point that the color theme you choose for your creatives is really very important.
Yes, definitely. It is really important because what उर्दू में कहते हैं कि जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. तो
Yeah.
आजकल इसी तरह का है. When we talk about brand positioning, it's about how you position your brand. And brand positioning में अब बहुत सारी चीज़ें आ जाती हैं. इसमें ये आ जाता है कि आप किस प्लेटफॉर्म पे पोजीशन करना चाह रहे हैं अपने ब्रांड को. Basically, let's do a little test. Brand positioning. It's just how how you differentiate yourself from others in your category. So just a little test. When I say crispy chicken, what comes to your mind?
Sorry, can you ask this again?
Yeah, I'm saying कि जब मैं कहती हूँ crispy chicken, this word, what
Yeah,
is what's the product that comes in your mind, or what's the brand that comes in your mind?
I think KFC and the color is red.
True. So okay, when I say cell phone, what comes to your mind?
iPhone, and there's no color actually.
Yeah. So see, when I said crispy chicken, you instantly went to KFC. When I said cell
Yeah,
phone, you instantly went to iPhone. Now these are the brands who have positioned themselves really well, because आप क्रिस्पी चिकन दुनिया में बहुत सारे लोग बेच रहे हैं, बट आपको कौन सा याद आया? KFC. नाउ दिस थिंग टेल्स कि केएफसी ने अपने आप को बहुत अच्छे से पोजीशन किया हुआ है, इतने अच्छे से कि जब कोई इंसान अपने दोस्त को बताना चाहता है या खुद उसके बारे में सोचता है, तो द फर्स्ट थॉट दैट कम्स टू योर माइंड इज अबाउट दैट स्पेसिफिक ब्रांड. सेम इज द केस विद iPhone. So, this is how you have to differentiate yourselves and position yourself differently in any market. When it comes to Amazon, तो आपकी ब्रांड को इस तरह से पोजीशन होना चाहिए कि जब भी कोई उस प्रोडक्ट का नाम ले, आपकी प्रोडक्ट माइंड में आनी चाहिए. सो दिस इज द आइडिया बिहाइंड ब्रांड पोजिशनिंग.
okay. So, Tatheer, you mentioned that you use heat maps, and heat maps basically is to identify that once a customer is on your listing, at what point does he or she spend the most time? So, what have you experienced? Is it the main image, the title, the bullets? What is it?
It's basically the images that where they spend the most of the time, but the first thing that they look on, that's the listing title. So the title, and then they go towards the images where they spend most of the time, which is hardly 3 to 5 seconds, and then they see the offer, and if they like it, they'll hit purchase, and if they don't, they'll just move forward.
Okay, so when we talk about the title, there's always a constant struggle between choosing the right and relevant keywords versus the high search volume keywords. So a mix is the right way, or what do you suggest?
Okay, as I've mentioned, brand is very important. So the first thing that you should put in customers' mind is your brand name. So the title should
Okay,
begin with a brand name, and then it should be followed by some keywords that have high search volumes, and then
okay,
you should go for just the title should not be too long, but it shouldn't be too short as
okay.
well. So brand name plus high search volume keywords, and then some relevant keywords, and then some information just as pack of three or color red or anything about that product specifically.
And any tips on how we should structure the bullet points? What do you recommend on the first bullet, the last, second, third?
Okay. It's basically sometimes it depends on the product. I mean, if there's a product with a lot of unique selling points, then I would focus that the first three bullets they are basically about the unique selling point.
Okay,
But if we have more of like this guarantee kind of thing, or something that's not so unique, then it's kind of a mix. First of all, I just introduce the product in the first bullet, and the next bullet it will be about something of a feature, and then third would be a benefit. Fourth one would be something of a multiple use where you can use that, and the fifth one is guarantee or some kind of thing to seal the deal, just to work on um, making the customer to purchase your product. But all of these things they should be covering the pain points of the buyers. Yeah.
okay. So if we talk about the main image, I've got some clients. They sell products in the textile niche, and they've got one of the product is a bathrobe. And what I see that some of the custom competitors have a main image where a model is wearing the bathrobe, but obviously Amazon prefers a white background, and there should only be the product that covering 80% of the image. But I see some of the competitors using models, and it's not a white background image. So obviously Amazon allows that as well. But what do you think that the customers are likely to like more, the model one or the white background?
Okay, so there's an interesting question. Basically, people they like to buy products that they can imagine themselves using. So obviously, if you want to target or if you want to see the buyer's perspective, they might be more attracted to the images where a model is being used. But when you're selling on Amazon, you have to follow Amazon's rule. So I would not suggest putting models right in the first images because it's against the TOS. But
Yeah.
and it's a close call. I mean, Amazon has already banned lots of accounts on this जिसमें वो नहीं मान रहे रूल्स को और लोग उसको डिफाई करें सो आई वुड से दैट it's not worth the risk because there are other 6 to 7 images where you can really focus on these areas.
So I think the one thing that most of the brands, at least in the Pakistani sellers on Amazon, don't give much importance. That is the storefront. How
Yeah.
how important is the storefront?
Okay, so whenever you think of a brand, of a good brand, you obviously have this kind of a standard where you want to look more about this brand, you want to know more about the products that you're going to buy. So this is something of a requirement where you have a good brand store because if people will see that you have done some effort in building your brand, obviously it would be a high end experience for your customers as well. So yeah, brand store is really important when it comes to branding because this is one of your essential tool where you can actually tell people about yourself and your brand. And nowadays if you could see, there's also something known as EBC or A plus content, and that is another important thing that came up in my heat maps. For currently, this A plus content it's just available for the registered sellers, the sellers who have A plus this brand registry done. So if you have brand registry done, then you can see the A plus content that they have made. And there's another addition to this. People nowadays they have inspiration from the brand. It's like a carousel that you can swipe left to right, and
Yeah.
उसमें आप अपने बारे में बता सकते हैं. It's basically about the owner of the brand and just about the brand, which is so interesting.
Okay, so what two things that I've witnessed working with people in Pakistan is that obviously I can safely say that 90% of Pakistani sellers have got limited budgets. So most of them are doing a single product or maybe a two, three variations. So what I've seen is that sellers, Pakistani sellers think that if I've got a single variation or two or three, I shouldn't focus on the storefront, or I think maybe the A plus content as well, because they think that storefront is specifically if you've got a range of products. So do you think, is it right that let's say I've got a single product, I want to build my storefront, but obviously I've got a single product, so I cannot add a lot of creatives of different products. But what I can do is create a lot of creatives of that single product and build my storefront. Do you think it'll work?
Okay, so I have worked with one product stores as well, and it's a huge hit. I mean, I can't name that brand publicly, but we started with this one product, and in the UK, and within a week of building everything. But the thing is that we did complete work before launch. I mean, we did the EBC content, we made the store, and then we made the listing live with all the keywords and everything done up to perfection. So we started getting results in less than a week. I mean, we had around 50 plus sales in just a few days. So that's the effect of having everything done right. I'm not saying that everyone has a budget to do so, but then again, if you want your product to be successful, then you have to think about these things ahead of time and include a specific budget for these kind of things, because it's always a possibility that you can have one product and you can build an excellent one product store. I mean, you don't have to make it too big. Maybe 6 to 7 modules is enough, but you definitely should have something as a store and EBC content.
So, have I missed anything? I think we've talked about the title, images, bullets, A plus content, storefront. Have I missed anything?
The listing is almost covered. I think we should maybe talk about branding and brand ads now.
Sure. Please go ahead.
Okay. So for I've talked about brand identity and brand positioning, and with our little test, it's very obvious that you have to build that story or that kind of emotion attached to your brand, because that is what sells. And as Seth Godin, who's a marketing guru and a best-selling author, he says marketing is no longer about the stuff that you make, but the stories that you tell. So this is something that I really focus on. It's the stories that sell. It's the images that sell. It's the thing known as emotions that sell. So my first focus is to build a brand story, or if there already exists one, I try to build it more and make it powerful. And after that, I go for ads as well, because they are very important. And when you're an emerging brand, not many people know about you. So it's really helpful if you put your product in front of people, so they can just see you and you can be discovered.
And especially if the niche is like if you're selling in the pets niche, the pet products, it's really important that we convey that we are a proper brand for your, and you can buy our products, trust our products for your pet, because people in Europe and other places, they really love their pets and they consider them as their babies. So it's really very important. And if we are selling in the babies niche, it's really important that we convey the message to the customers that we are a big brand and we are responsible of the products we offer, and that we are offering the solution. And by doing this way, the conversion rates actually improve. But a really smart way of doing this is through the video ads. Do you agree the video ads in 2022, Amazon in 2022, it's really very much dependent on how good your videos are.
True. I super agree with this one, because all of the sponsored brand ads, they are something really interesting, and video ads, they stand out the most. So just for the new learners, sponsored brand ads वो ads होते हैं जो basically आपके brand के बारे में बताते हैं, और whenever you land on any Amazon page, sponsored brand ads is the first thing that you see. ये वो ads होते हैं जिसमें you can show up to 3 products, and उसमें आपका logo आ जाता है, उसमें आपका store का link आ जाता है, उसमें आप एक custom headline लिख सकते हैं, which can be anything interesting that makes the buyers click on your ad. And you can add up to 3 products. So for sponsored brand ads, there are 3 kinds of things that you can do. You can have these ads known as a store spotlight, and also as a product collection, and then the third one is video ads. So let me just give you a brief idea about product collection. In product collection, you can show up to 3 products and have a logo and custom tagline and a link to your store, or yeah, to your store. And whenever somebody sees that ad of yours, they have an option. If they like one product, they can just click on that, and that ad will take the buyer to their specific listing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this is the first kind of sponsored brand ad. The third one is store highlights and store spotlight. And in this one, what happens is that you can not just, if you're a big seller and you have a big brand and you're selling in different categories, for instance, just as you mentioned, the pets niche. If you are selling cat shampoos and cat conditioners and cat coat polishes, so if you want your buyers to see all of these categories, not just 3 products, then with the store spotlight, you can do that. Instead of those 3 products, you can add those 3 categories. So whenever somebody clicks on that, they will be taken straight to your brand store and in that category. And the biggest plus is that there are no distractions. I mean, in your brand store, it's just your products, your brand, everything about you. So the buyers, they don't have an option to see other offerings or other listings or other products. So this works really well, and it's a great opportunity. And the third one is video ads. And in this ad basically shows mostly in between these product searches, and it's a really good way, and it's a showstopper. If you have a really interesting video, people stop and they look at your ad and then they straight away click on it. So if you have a good, interesting video about 15 to 30 seconds, it can really work in your benefit.
Yeah, you've entirely explained it. So, Tatheer, what I've heard is that, and I've experienced it as well, that when we offer a surprise in the product packaging, that really pushes the customer to give us a good review, and it increases, I think, the chances of a positive review, 50%, 100%. I don't know exactly, but do you agree with that? And what do you think?
Okay, yes. So including a small token or something interesting that goes or complements your product is really important. For instance, if you are selling something um,
Like a balloon
like
kit,
a dis-
balloon arch kit,
yeah, like a balloon
and we
arch
can
kit.
offer
If you
a pump with that as an add-on.
Yeah, true. But don't you think that would be a bit expensive on the part because you're
Not the electric pump, the other one.
okay. Okay, yeah, we can do that. And if you include it, it will be a surprise for the buyers as well. And even if you want to mention it in your listing somewhere in the bullets or in the images, it can also give you a boost because you're offering something extra, and that would really be a good strategy for selling good.
Yeah, so, because what I've seen a lot of my colleagues doing, that they offer inserts inside the packaging, and the packaging itself is really, really attractive. One of my colleague was doing a ribbon packing on his product, and that really attracted. It wasn't anything much, but that really appealed to the customers because it was really beautiful. On the packing, I think it was just a simple packing of plastic packing, but on top of it, there was like a ribbon tied, and it was every time it was a different color ribbon. Okay, so that really got him a lot of good reviews, plus photo reviews. I think that are really important, don't you think?
I
आई थिंक थोड़ा सा इंटरनेट का इशू हो गया है तथीर का. इतने में मैं आप सबके कमेंट्स ले लेता हूँ. अच्छा जी, सुल्तान कह रहे हैं द सेशन इज रियली अमेजिंग एंड इंफॉर्मेटिव. जजाकल्ला. साद कह रहे हैं जी वेरी इंफॉर्मेटिव, थैंक्स टीम. इकोनॉमिस्ट नहीं है भाई, इकोनॉमिस्ट है. फॉर वंडरफुल सेशन. जी हमारा ये फिफ्थ सेशन है इस मंथ के पीपीसी वीक का, और हमने 7 सेशंस किए थे लास्ट मंथ. ये हमारा सेकंड पीपीसी वीक है, और हमने अगस्त में स्टार्ट किया था. हमने उसमें 13 गेस्ट को बुलाया था, 7 दिनों में उनके साथ सेशन किए थे, जिसमें ज़्यादातर गोरे भी थे लेकिन पाकिस्तानी पीपीसी एक्सपर्ट्स, जैसे कि वैस अमीन साहब थे, एक्सट्रीम कॉमर्स से आदिल अजीम साहब थे, और अदीम मिर्जा साहब थे डिजी मास्टर्स से. हुजैफा अली शार्क एडवर्टाइजिंग, उनका मेरा बड़ा दिल था उनको कि मैं लाऊं. उनकी तबीयत ठीक नहीं थी, लेकिन वो आप लोग देख सकते हैं. अगर आप मेरी प्रोफाइल विजिट करें तो मैंने एक पोस्ट पिन की हुई है जिसमें सारे सेशंस के लिंक हैं रिकॉर्डिंग्स के. नहीं तो आप यूट्यूब चैनल पे हमारी सारी रिकॉर्डिंग्स देख सकते हैं. Tatheer is back with us. So I was just taking some questions meanwhile you were away. So what were we talking about? Can you hear me?
I can. It's breaking a bit. I'm not sure if it's my internet.
You're fine.
Can
You're
you hear
totally
me?
fine. Yeah, I can totally hear you. I've got a question here. Sir, please give me PPC strategy for laptop stand for UK. I have client of UK who have 1,000 piece. Now he want to sell it all because it has high competition. Some tips. Have to run PPC that product sell. Okay. लैपटॉप स्टैंड देखें, बड़ा ही आपने ज़बरदस्त किस्म का प्रोडक्ट चूज़ किया. ऑनेस्टली आई आई डोंट नो कि आपने ये क्यों चूज़ किया है, क्योंकि इफ़ यू आस्क मी, खैर उस पे तो अभी नहीं आएंगे क्योंकि आप यहाँ पे ये नहीं पूछ रहे. आपने 1000 पीसेस उसके ख़रीद लिए हैं, तो अब आप ये पूछ रहे हैं कि इसको अब मैं सेल कैसे करूं. देखें, मैं आपको अगर रिकमेंड करूं तो मैं आपको ये रिकमेंड करूंगा कि ये ऐसी प्रोडक्ट है कि जिसमें आप ना, मुझे पता है कि आपके पास इतने मार्जिन नहीं होंगे, क्योंकि ऐसी प्रोडक्ट में हम क्या ही डिफ्रेंशिएट करेंगे किसी से, क्या ही हम मार्जिन निकाल पाएंगे. ठीक है, तो इसमें मुझे पता है आपके पास मार्जिन भी कम होंगे और आपका कन्वर्जन रेट भी इतना अच्छा नहीं होगा, और इसमें प्राइस वॉर्स भी मेरे ख्याल से आपको अच्छी खासी मिल रही होंगी. सो ऐसे केस में यू शुड गो विद द ऑप्शन जिसमें कन्वर्जन सबसे ज्यादा होने के चांसेस हैं, एंड दैट इज वीडियो एड्स. तो अगर आप वीडियो और ब्रांड रजिस्ट्री मैनेज कर सकते हैं, मैं आपको रेकमेंड करूंगा कीवर्ड रिसर्च करें. कीवर्ड रिसर्च करके आप ये देखें कि कितने कीवर्ड्स आपके पास ऐसे हैं जिनका सर्च वॉल्यूम लेट्स से 5000 से ज्यादा है. आई नो इसमें काफी कीवर्ड्स हैं, तो आपको कीवर्ड्स तो मिल जाएंगे. अब आप ये देखें कि स्पॉन्सर्ड ब्रांड्स में वीडियो के अंडर उन कीवर्ड्स की सजेस्टेड बिड्स क्या हैं. अब आपके पास, मुझे पता है इसमें ज्यादा कीवर्ड्स मिल जाएंगे. आई नो 20 कीवर्ड्स, इट्स नॉट अ बिग डील. तो 20 कीवर्ड्स की अगर आप बिड्स चेक करें स्पॉन्सर्ड ब्रांड्स वीडियो में, डेफिनेटली 4-5 की ऐसी बिड होगी जो मैनेजेबल हो, यानी जो बाकी 15 से कम हो. ठीक है, तो उनसे स्टार्ट करें. उन पे सजेस्टेड बिड्स से भी थोड़ी ज्यादा बिड्स दें, क्योंकि पहले पेज पे सिर्फ एक ही स्लॉट होती है वीडियो की. सो यू वांट द एड टू अपेयर ऑन पेज 1. ठीक है, तो सजेस्टेड बिड से थोड़ी सी ज्यादा बिड्स दें. डबल भी दे सकते हैं अगर कोई बिड है लेट्स से 0.89, डबल भी दे सकते हैं टू इंश्योर कि आप ऑक्शन जीतें, पहले पेज का स्लॉट जीतें. टॉप ऑफ सर्च की प्लेसमेंट भी ऐड कर दें अगर आपका बजट इजाजत देता है तो. सो फोकस ऑन दिस, देन मूव ऑन टू अदर कैंपेन्स जहां पे भी आपको बिड्स मिले, क्योंकि इस प्रोडक्ट में हमारा टारगेट है कि कम से कम खर्चा हम करें और अपनी प्रोडक्ट से जान छुड़ाएं. ठीक है, क्योंकि ये ऐसी प्रोडक्ट नहीं है कि जिसको आप रैंक करा लें, कल को आप इसमें से ऑर्गेनिक ऑर्डर्स ले लें. आई डोंट थिंक सो. अगर आप सिर्फ लैपटॉप स्टैंड के साथ ही जाना चाह रहे हैं, बाकी अभी मैं इतना ही आपको सजेशन दे सकता हूँ. अच्छा, Tatheer is back with us. Can you
Hi.
hear me, Tatheer?
Yep.
Okay, I was just taking some comments. There's Muzaffar Chaudhary saying, excellent session. I agree. You have been really helpful to Tatheer. There's another one. I just joined. Can you please introduce guest Mr. Tatheer? I think we've already done that. And there's another one. Sultan Ahmed is saying, what's the best color theme we need to use in brand building? So, what do you
Okay.
think?
Okay, so every color it's associated with a specific emotion. For instance, if you want to go for the trust of the buyers, then you should go for something blue. This is something that our banks do a lot. If you see something between blue, the mix of blue and orange, and these are the shades which banks use because they want you to trust them with your money. So, and if you have a product that you want, it is about your goal as well. If your goal is about a youthful product, maybe if it's like a deo or something that is related to youth, maybe headphones or anything like related to youth, then you should go for a color red. But if you want to build trust, then you should go for a color blue. And there's a whole thing about color theory. I would recommend you to read something about color theory.
Okay. So I've got a question from Siptan Ahmed, if I'm not wrong. This is founder of Fix and Excel. So a big shout out to Fix and Excel and Siptan. They have a wonderful tool, and I'll highly recommend every PPC manager to use that tool. If I'm not wrong, it's that Siptan. So the question is, what should be PPC strategy for low demand and high competition products? And the product is related to spices in the US market. Okay.
Okay, spices, very colorful. And this is something that you can highlight in using brand ads. You can also use display ads. You can use video ads. And you can also use this product product collection kind of thing, because those brand ads are the first thing that people see on Amazon whenever they are on Amazon. So I would suggest you to use a mix of these things, but you'll have to work on the creatives. Just spend a little bit of your resources and work on a good video. That's a showstopper, and you can do so much with spices because this is something that's really attractive for most of the US people, and also for it's a colorful product, so it's easy to stand out. I would suggest that you use a white background and just add colors to that, so it's like immediately attracts attention.
Yeah, I'll second Tatheer here, but as he mentioned that his product has low demand and high competition, I think by that he means that there aren't a lot of keywords that he can target. But once that's a situation, I think your best bet is ASIN targeting, because if there's high competition, there are a lot of ASINs, so you can target them, and you can target ASIN in sponsored products, brands, and display. So you have all three options while targeting an ASIN. So what I'll suggest is, just as Tatheer mentioned, your creatives and your listing is really very important, and then you can take help from the ASIN targeting campaigns. You can get the traffic, and you can target like I mentioned the other day with Hiba in the session, that if you've got like competitors that are selling spices, obviously you're gonna target them. But there's another option. You can target adjacent ASINs. What I mean by that, let's say your product is a baby food, and one of your competitor is selling baby wipes or baby diapers. So on the baby wipes or baby diapers listing, you can show your baby food product, and there's a really high chance that the customer looking for baby wipes is actually going to buy that as well as your product, the baby food. So you can target adjacent ASINs as well as ASINs that are relevant to your product. In this case, ASIN selling spices. So this is, I think, something you should focus on.
Yeah, and also the products that complement your products.
Yeah, true. So I think that's it for today. Thank you so much, Tatheer, for your time. We'll love to have you again any other day because the information you've shared was really very helpful.
Thank you so much. It was an honor being here, and it's great.
Most welcome. All right then. See you soon.
See you
Bye
soon.
bye.
Allah, Allah Hafiz. Bye.